Space rovers? Impossible. Electric trucks? Impossible. Even something as simple as a pencil was once impossible. All these things were once unthinkable. But at Atlassian, we know for a fact that impossible things are only impossible alone. Since 2002, teams of all sizes have used our collaboration software to power all kinds of projects together. Sorry, geniuses, but few things are actually accomplished alone. We're at our best when we put our heads together in order to take the big swings. When was the last time you accomplished something big? It was probably by working together. Teamwork is how you get to somewhere new, or make a process a whole lot better. That's how you make the impossible possible. It's not rocket science. Well, sometimes it is.
Modern work is complex, and it takes a team of teams. But with different workflows and objectives, teams, tools, and information can easily fall into silos where collaboration is stifled and innovation suffers, especially as you scale. That's why we built the Atlassian platform. As the foundation that powers all Atlassian solutions, it breaks information silos and drives connection between teams, tools, and data across your entire organization. So no matter where your teams are or how they like to work, they're always connected on one seamless platform that powers truly remarkable experiences. With the Atlassian platform, teams can collaborate effectively, get powerful insights from cross-product analytics, streamline work through automation, and let admins manage it all at scale. And the best part? It's not just for Atlassian products. Thousands of the world's most popular apps easily integrate with the Atlassian platform, meaning teams have the freedom to customize their workflows and use the best tool for the job without becoming siloed. All while teams get peace of mind that Atlassian solutions are built on secure, compliant, and reliable cloud infrastructure. Whatever your team's goals are, from engineering and IT to business and service teams, bring them all together to make complex work productive and scale your organization beyond the impossible with the Atlassian platform.
Good morning, everyone. Hi. I mean, like the video just now we played was like so amazing. Like we are going to like play let us know, let people know what's going on in our Team 23 event. So welcome to our webinar today. My name is Kylie Wu. I'm the partner manager for Hong Kong, Taiwan, Macau from Atlassian. So today I'm excited to be your host for this webinar. Thank you for joining us today in Team 23 recap. If you haven't already known, Team 23 is our Atlassian's annual user conference and the biggest event of the year. So Atlassian is aiming to unleash the potential of every team so you can make the impossible possible. So from Team 23, you can discover our new solutions for Agile and DevOps, ITSM, open work management, and teamwork culture, and embrace new ways to work. For our Team 23 recap today, we have 3 experts who will be joining us. We have Zurong Chen, our pre-sales solution engineer from Atlassian, Mohammed Fahad, senior product manager from iZeno, and Andrew Wong as the APAC managing director from Appnovation. So if you have any questions today, feel free to ask in the box of like Q&A box below, and our team will try our best to respond to you. So now, without further ado, please welcome our first speaker, Atlassian Pre-Sales Solution Engineer, Zurong Chen.
Today, I'm very excited to share with you the highlights of Atlassian Team 23 event by this webinar. Actually, this is my first time to attend the Atlassian Team event. I know that some of you might be years of experience in this industry, but for me, it's quite new, and I'm very excited to share what I learned about Atlassian culture, product, and practice. And I'm looking forward to having more engagement and discussion with you in the future. So I just want to highlight here what a key learning from me about Team 23. So first, Atlassian has entered into the cloud computing industry, and we try to make our applications smarter. How to leverage the data in our application and transform those into the business insight and the artificial intelligence practice, so that help our organization, help our customer to become a more data-driven and smart organization. And second, I found it very interesting that our president introduced there have been 10 billion automation already running on Atlassian platform since we introduced this capability. So this is very, very well received, and the people love the automation. So in this event, we also have some new announcement, new enhancement and features regarding this feature and functionality. So more data, more analytics, more AI, and more automation. That means we have to make sure that our infrastructure and our application is capable to support those new features and function. So we also have some interesting figures about to increase the maximum users can be used in our conference, in Jira software, and in Jira service management as well. And also, we increase the maximum of number of users, but also make sure that the performance is getting better as well. So the 1.5 times of the performance for Jira software, and 3 times for the conference. So I think it's a huge improvement. So I'm going to share with you my learning for each aspect. But before that, I want to share a very interesting, and I think it's a very important interview that in Team 23. So our co-founder, Scott, had an interview conversation with James Cameron, one of the most important and greatest filmmakers and directors in the world. I'm sure you watched the for example, Titanic or Avatar, the movie, right? Everyone loves his movie. But what I really learned from him is that how he actually create a culture of team transparent. He called it team genius. So understand that for the large investment movies like Avatar or Titanic, there's so many teams, so many people being involved in this initiative. How that James Cameron can manage those different discussion, different team members, different initiatives, that's a big challenge for everyone. And if you think about the in your organization, how that you can make sure that everyone and every team involved in a big initiative, big program for different projects and work together and share their view, share their knowledge, that's super challenging. What I learned from this interview is that James Cameron create a team genius concept so that everyone in his team, doesn't matter what is your background, what is your race or your gender, everyone's free to share their view, and it also benefits for that initiative. And he uses some example like some of the team members share her view and actually avoid a big mistake during the filming. I think this is something that definitely we could feel the benefits from it, because sometimes it's not only just the tools. I know that Jira is a great tool for us to help us to manage the project, manage the issues, but it's also about how that you can build a culture, build a team, work together culture in an organization. And James also shares some of the interesting view of what is the future of AI. Is that AI is capable to replace the actors in the future? So if you have time, I encourage you to maybe watch that recording. It's really helpful. I watched many times. So now let's move on to focus on all the new products and the features announced in the Team 23. So first, obviously about our star, Atlassian Intelligence. I believe that you might watch the video, you might saw the article in a lot of platform or social media. Everyone's super excited about the new Atlassian Intelligence, our AI product. As our co-founder mentioned, we're actually using the machine learning model to optimize and automate the process in Atlassian for many years. And now with this year, the large language model by OpenAI, we have the strategic partnership with OpenAI to build more powerful, intelligent solutions to our customers. So that's the Atlassian Intelligence. And I think that most exciting me is actually our Atlassian Intelligence is more related to all the use cases, which is happening pretty much every day. For example, to get instant help with a virtual agent so that our customer can find the solution quickly. Or maybe get up the speed so that between or among the agent, the AI can actually help you to summarize the issues and provide the action items. Those are the use cases which you probably like use every day. And with those use cases together with AI, I think the business team or the company will find more tangible business values, so that I think it's very important for the AI adoption in your organization. And those AI capabilities is across all the Atlassian products, so that in the future, you'll find whatever you're using Jira or Conference or any other products of Atlassian, you'll be benefit from the Atlassian Intelligence, which is super exciting. Next, We talk about artificial intelligence, but also we actually building the Atlassian Analytics platform so that every business user could leverage the tools to better understand their business, better understand their data, and transform those data into the business insight and support them to make the business decision. And Atlassian Analytics was in the early access program, but now is officially in GA, which means that every customer of Atlassian is able to adopt to use the analytics tools to help their business. And with those data tightly integrate with the other Jira or Atlassian product, you could easily from the business insight to create the action on the follow-up action. For example, create a ticket, create issues in the Jira product and to do the follow-up. I think this is something that's really important to build a closed loop from data to insight and to action. And on top of that, the Atlassian Analytics can use not only just the data from Atlassian product family, but if you have some third-party data source or third-party tools, you can also extract the data from there and import into the Atlassian data lake, so that Atlassian analytics tools can actually consume those data and build the enterprise-grade, enterprise-level analytics for your company, which is super exciting. We talk a lot about the data model, the data analytics, and the AI. Let's move on to talk a little bit about execution level. As I mentioned, the Atlassian automation is the great tools and very popular functionalities in our platform, and there's already 10 billion automation running on the platform. When I joined Atlassian, I saw that because maybe the tools is for the technical people, so those tools might need some technical skill to build the automation or to build some features, make it available, but actually it's not. So take this automation as an example. There's no code needed to build your automation. It's actually provide you a lot of templates. In those templates already defined which step, which flow that typically we use for this business scenario. And with the drag and drop capability, you can actually to define, for example, what is the trigger for this automation? What is a condition that the system will evaluate if the automation will proceed or not? And what is the follow-up actions for those automation by click, drag and drop, and select. So there's no code needed in this whole process. It definitely helps you to, wherever you are business people or you are technical people, to speed up the planning, the coding, the testing, and the whole life cycle of a development. And because this is integrated with pretty much like every product in Atlassian product family, so you can actually enjoy the automation within the products or across the products. So I think it's very amazing to it, and that's why this is so popular and well used across your organization. Next, you might heard of that or you might not. This is a new product that we call the Jira Product Discovery. It's actually used or target used by the product manager to help them to manage all the product ideas and to receive feedback, create insight before move to the project or product development. I think it's a very interesting point of view that during the presentation we talk about the most expensive product in the world is the wrong product. So you need to make sure that at the beginning you actually put the right product ideas and the development plan in the pipeline. So that's why the Jira Product Discovery is helping the product manager to build a to actually create the platform to help them to manage a whole life cycle of a product from idea to the development. And this is actually the new product that I've been working with some of our team and customers, and all the feedback received is very positive. So you can see that here in the Jira product discovery, I can manage all the ideas and clearly define the goals and the roadmap, as well as some of the insight. And then people or the stakeholders involved can provide their comments. They can also vote the ideas. So every product put into the pipeline for development, before that, those ideas has been validated, and I think it will increase dramatically chance that you will create amazing product go to market. And last but not least, I think this tool is quite interesting. It is called the conference whiteboard. It's actually everyone's familiar with whiteboards. It's a great tool for you to manage your ideas, to collaborate with your teams. Now that you can using this capability in the very familiar tools of conference. So in a conference, you can track your idea. And good things about this conference whiteboard is you can easily either to change your idea into the Jira issue or Jira task. And now also you can import some of the issue or tasks from Jira into the conference whiteboards to start do the ideation or collaboration with your team. So the integration or the transformation between the unstructured data and the structured data is amazing. And I believe that many of your team, like the product manager, the developer, and project management will get a benefit from these new features. So this is my learning and my sharing about the Atlassian Team 23 event. And I encourage you to go to this website to watch all the recorded sessions. And looking forward in the future that we could discuss this in more detail, and you can share with me your feedback, your learning from this great event. Thank you so much, and talk to you later.
Okay, thank you, Zurong, for sharing with us the overview of Team 23 recap. So if you have any questions for Zurong, feel free to drop it into the Q&A box so our team can respond to you. Actually, we have some new releases that are in early access program. So if you have the interest to maybe give it a try, please let us know, and we will just launch a poll on the screen so that maybe just let us know if you have the interest to have the access to the early access program, so that we will send to you the link of the early access program. You can just to be put into the waiting list. Maybe one day you can have a try by yourself. Okay, because I do believe all those new releases are amazing. No matter is Atlassian intelligence, which is the AI function across all Atlassian solutions and products, and Atlassian analytics to show your management team the report and all the data that you want to show in a dashboard, and automation and the discovery, and of course, Confluence whiteboard. So all those features are so amazing and fascinating. So I'm sure you will have the interest to maybe give it a go and have a try before it's actually go into the general public. Okay, so next, we will have our next speaker. We will have Mohammed Fahad as a senior product manager from iZeno, who will share with you about end-bad service management with Jira Service Management. So please, Fahad.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Fahad, iZeno Senior Project Manager and ITSM Practice Lead. It's nice to meet you all. I will do a recap of Team’23 keynote session about embed service management now with Jira Service Management. I have attended Atlassian's team event for the first time. It was very nice experience attending Teams’23. I learned a lot about Atlassian practices, culture, product updates, and met different people. I feel proud that Aizeno is named as Partner of the Year 2022 in Emerging Market category, and I received this award at stage from Atlassian co-CEO and co-founder Scott and Mike with my colleague Leo. Teams’23 tagline was impossible alone, possible together. And I believe that behind every success, there is a team. Atlassian tools are there to unleash the potential of your team to make things possible together. How Atlassian is making possible together. For that, let's take a look at the platform. Atlassian unifies teams, whether it's technical or non-technical, across the entire organization and help teams work better together with the products that make the workflow. If I read from the top to bottom, this platform offers a solution layer from an agile and DevOps to ITSM and work management, where technical and non-technical teams work together by getting the most from the experience layer. And infrastructure layer is there to scale at large when needed from a speed and organization growth perspective. On top of that, now you can achieve the impossible with the power of and magic of AI in Atlassian Cloud's product through the intelligence capability at the experience layer. Atlassian Intelligence also integrates with ChatGPT. Now, if I take the solution list, and from this solution list, if I need to deep dive into IT service management, ITSM, which is powered by Jira Service Management, I believe that Jira Service Management is the only incredible solution that can bring dev, IT operations, and business teams together so that we can deliver great service experience. Why Jira Service Management only? We hear from customers that it can deliver value fast and it's easy to set up. Unlike traditional ITSM tools, it has the capability of bringing dev and ops together to respond to incidents and changes faster. Thirdly, it makes super simple for any team to deliver great support without a huge reliance on the IT team. And that's why Jira Service Management, the ITSM solution, is used by 45,000 customers. These are from startups to enterprises, from clean energy to banks and oldest manufacturing companies. That got analysts to take notice as well. Forrester named leader for enterprise service management Wave, and Gartner named Atlassian Jira Service Management as leader in ITSM Magic Quadrant and the fastest growing product in their evaluations. Let's take a look at how Jira Service Management can help address the bad service management symptoms, all the way from bloated budgets to the issues with the deployments. The first is bloated budgets. From that perspective, there are studies around in the market. I have taken this example here from Gartner, where it says 8 out of 10 enterprises are overspending 50% of their contract value. That's a lot. And Forrester did a study that if somebody is using Jira Service Management, on an average, they have an ROI of 277%. They are getting a benefit of 4.2 million in 3 years' time. The implementation is 4 months with an average complexity, and they're getting a payback in less than 6 months. Atlassian Jira Service Management is there to help people, and Atlassian is also running embed service management campaign that is still on. And you can save 30% on the first year with a 3-year contract. For details, please contact us. Now, let's take a look at the second symptom, which is irritable teammates. Pushing changes into production can sometimes be like a stressful exercise. Like you need to push the change and hope that everything will be okay. And this thing sometimes causes friction between dev and ops. With Jira Service Management, we give developers a lot more autonomy to run fast to the very best while ensuring that work is aligned with operations to reduce the risk to the business. Let's take a look of let's take a couple of examples and look around changes and incidents. Starting with the changes, Jira Service Management integrates with popular CI/CD tools that dev teams love. For example, Bitbucket, Jenkins, and others. And now it integrates with GitHub and GitLab as well. CI/CD pipelines can now also integrate with Sneak for the DevSecOps, where code can be scanned for vulnerabilities. In case of issues, pipeline can be paused. And in case there's a change required, the change can be directly created from the CI/CD tool that you see on the screen here. And when we got the change, when it comes to doing a risk assessment associated to that change, how can we achieve that? Jira Service Management Risk Assessment Engine is there, where low risk changes are auto-approved to deploy first, and the medium risk changes are made to solve first. If no issue occurred for the certain time, these can be pushed to production. However, high risk changes need to follow the set practices. Great thing is that your team does not need to leave the tool to make decisions and deploy. However, in case the deployment happens and an incident has occurred, how you respond to that, it's important from a team's perspective. Teams needs to have the right tool to respond and resolve issues faster. From that perspective, nowadays, when we are delivering, implementing softwares, behind that software there are multiple microservices that are running to support certain features. As a developer or a software support team, I need to know where is the microservice, who owns that, and how do I get help when something goes wrong. From that perspective, Atlassian introduced Compass, and we can have a list of components, DevOps, health check, and other details. And inside the Compass, we can see all the details. For example, for this identity service, where we have the repo, where we have the project that inside Jira Service software that is managing all this. We have links to the documentation, and then we can also see the whole health stack, where we can see what is in operation, where we have operational health as 100%, where we have security coverages like certain percentage, 40%, and then we can also see if something goes wrong, who's on schedule, who is responsible for L1, and so on. So, for example, if something goes wrong, in case of incident, the teams are immediately alerted, and they are alerted, and they have to acknowledge through. And when it comes to acknowledgement, they have lots of options. One of them, they will receive the alert on their phone app. They will straight away go in and acknowledge. And for example, in this case, if Teams knows that the service is critical, they can immediately go and escalate this incident as a major incident. And what happens there? And then they can also check that for this particular service, who's on call across dev and ops to make sure that they can bring the right folk into the war room to solve this issue fast. Now, when they jump into the war room, they have an option to use any device. For example, they can start using the channel like available through Slack, or they can start using Zoom meeting. And the beauty is that you can get to these channels within your Jira Service Management. These teams then can drill into the service components and the underlying services dependencies. So one of these dependencies might have caused this incident. How do you discover these dependencies? Jira Service Management made it easy to discover the dependencies using its discovery capabilities. And in addition to that, Atlassian has built deep integration with popular discovery tools as well, such as Device42. Incidents are high stress situations. We can get the root cause faster with Atlassian intelligence capabilities. So for example, in this screen, we will be able to see all the similar incidents that we are swarming on currently and the past PIRs that might help to resolve the incident faster. Incident investigation dashboard in Jira Service Management, and as you can see on the screen, connects with the CI/CD tools. And the operations team can check what recent deployments have been done, that might have caused the incident. So they can drill into the deployment and see which engineering team was responsible for that deployment. If required, they can roll back the changes to bring the service up again. Seems like the incident has been resolved, but the best teams learn from the incidents to better prepare for the next one. In Jira Service Management, we can automatically create the PIRs that can be exported into Confluence. In Confluence, we can put anything, for example, the smart links to external media, other things. We can draw on the whiteboards and then send these ideas, these conclusions directly from Confluence to the product teams, to the operations team, and other people. Atlassian has also introduced Beacon to make sure that your Atlassian products are secure. In case someone is searching some malicious terms, it creates incident in JSM for that malicious attempt for the teams to respond. So we have covered bringing dev, ops, and SecOps teams together to resolve incidents and move changes faster. Now let's take a look at the blurred vision. Atlassian Analytics gives an overall status within Jira Service Management. For example, in this dashboard, we can see the number of failed changes are growing up since last few weeks. Maybe there are a lot of deployments going on, but this is one half of the picture. Now, if you combine this with the dev tool, in this case is Jira Software, you could see that the deployment frequency is going down and the change failure numbers are going up. That does not look good. Maybe now you have an option to deep dive into the details by looking at the big picture, where you can see from an ops perspective and from a dev perspective. And you can also combine the third-party information in Atlassian Analytics, for example, cloud operations from AWS, budget data from Snowflake, and the service-related information that is sitting in JSM. That will give you better understanding of service cost and overall performance. That's all with the blurred vision. Now let's talk about the setup complexity, outdated experience, and the difficulties in scaling. And we will see how Atlassian is helping. So let's take a look at example of setup complexity first. Okay, and from an ease of setup perspective, from Atlassian standpoint, Atlassian gives you out-of-the-box service templates to reduce the setup time. And each of these templates comes with the most common request forms and workflows pre-configured. If you want to tailor this normally, like you need to go to the central admin. That option is still available. However, Atlassian is making it easy for your team to tailor, to manage your configurations related to forms and feeds and workflow by your own, without going to the central admin. Atlassian has also released a customer support template. So JSM can be used as external support help desk tool. In this way, Atlassian is helping to bring the customer support teams, the development teams and operation teams together, which means customer support team can take a look at the tickets that have been work on with the dev teams. They can establish a connect with them, and from a dev's perspective, they can take a look at the things that they are working on, how it is impacting or has an impact on the customer. And then from an operations standpoint, they will be able to check which customers are being impacted by an outage. This gives them end-to-end clear picture, and this will help reducing the silos, and as a result, it will lead to happy customers. You will use this information from a customer experience perspective. Like, for example, as a customer support team, I'm looking at a customer screen. I will get a 360-degree view of the customer. For example, the address, the region, and the account manager associated to it, and what are the recent activities that have been happening. And this information can be used to make better decisions and route requests as well. And this will also give an option to set up SLAs per customer. And we can run reports by utilizing this information across by customer or vertical to see how we are delivering these services. And when we talk through the complexity around the setup, there's also another symptom from a bad service management perspective that comes in from an outdated experience perspective. Okay, and when we look at the portal, it's the centralized place where everyone goes to raise a request. The best way is to make the portal nice, to make sure that it aligns with your brand guidelines. Atlassian has released the options to customize the portal according to your brand guidelines. But the recent and important information or important thing that I want to share is that Atlassian has released the option to set up your custom domain. So if you see in here, get that support that BANC.ly is a custom URL. Previously, we used to get the custom // Atlassian.net. Like now you can have your custom domain. This will give you more personalized, your business related experience. And then when you have an option to change the look and feel, so essentially if you see that previous screen versus this screen where you can change your look and feel, and as your portal grows from all the way from team A to team B to C, then you can also set up like a topics in there. Atlassian has a concept of topics which will help you to put important information at the top, followed by your featured portals and so on. And at the same time, Atlassian is also working to give you more options to make your layout look and feel like more pretty, that fits into your business needs more seamlessly. Okay, and this is the future screen that will be coming up soon. Okay, now from a virtual agent perspective, Atlassian also releasing virtual agent that connects with Slack and Microsoft Teams, where you can set up the flows that meets your business needs, that meets your use case, so that you have a 24/7 support through your virtual agent. Now, so we have covered the outdated experience as well. Now let's deep dive into the next symptom from an issue with the scale deployment perspective. So as an organization grow, your tool should also be able to scale to address the needs. Okay, and in case you have a difficulty to scale, then essentially it's one of the symptoms of bad service management. How Atlassian is helping to address that. So Atlassian has increased the support from an agent perspective from 10,000 to 20,000. And Atlassian is also increasing the asset database from 1 million to 3 million. This is a lot of assets that you can store in here. And from a data residency perspective, there are options coming soon, for example, Singapore and Canada. And the closest to this region, when I'm talking from Southeast Asia, is Singapore. And Atlassian is also working on setting up or like putting a compliance in place from a regulation perspective. And then Atlassian has also like introduced bring your own key concepts so that you can have your own encryption key. And then Atlassian is also improving on audit logs and so on. And it will also give an option from a customer SSO perspective. And so we have covered all the challenges from a bloated budget perspective until the issues with the deployment perspective. As a result, you will have your healthy budgets and happy teammates where and you have clear regions and so on. So this will help you set up your tool in a better way where you can like remediate or get rid of bad services, and you can deliver fastest and like a helpful experience to your users. And then we have ended this event with a great party. Here is a photo of my colleague Leo enjoying the party. With this, I will end this presentation. And thank you so much for listening. I'll pass this presentation over to the next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Fahad. That is amazing. Like, thanks for sharing us about how powerful Jira Service Management for the team. So if you have any questions for Fahad, please feel free to ask in the Q&A box, and we will try to respond to you. I see some new comers just joining. Just to let you know, we have some like early access programs for the new releases, like from Team 23. So we have, like, for example, Atlassian Intelligence, which embedded OpenAI into Atlassian solutions. And we have Atlassian Analytics and automation and Jira Discovery, and of course, Confluence Whiteboard. Just please respond to, like, maybe just reply the emails that we will send to everyone after this webinar, and just let us know if you have the interest to join the early access program. And maybe if you're lucky, you will be put into the waiting list and have the maybe give it a try. Okay. And our next speaker is Andrew Wang. He is the APAC Managing Director from Appnovation Hong Kong. And Andrew has the consulting background and is definitely a great speaker as well. He will share with us about Team 23 highlights on enterprise agility. So let's welcome Andrew.
Thanks, Kylie, and what a great recap of his experience at Team 23 from Fahad. So, hi everyone, Andrew here from Appnovation. I'm Appnovation's Managing Director in Hong Kong, and we are a global Atlassian partner since 2015. I think I may only have 15 minutes, so I hope I get to share some of the quick highlights that I saw at Team 23 with a focus on enterprise agility, which I keep talking about every day. And then I'm going to go into a little bit of detail about Jira Align, Atlassian's Agile at Scale product, which some of us may be not too familiar with here in Asia especially. So let's dive right in. Now, I wasn't as lucky as Fahad to have been able to attend Team 23 in person. I've got two kids, young ones here in Hong Kong. But just by attending the online sessions and going through some of the keynotes and on-demand session, I found it very exhilarating, and actually I've learned a lot from some of the sharing as well. So without further ado, here are some of the highlights. I've got 4 highlights for you. So I'm sure we'll also share the links later on, but you can just go onto the event site, and then many of these keynotes and breakout sessions are on-demand streaming. So the first one that I must see is definitely the interview of James Cameron. He talks a lot about the constraint that he faced while he was making Terminator when he was like 28 or so, and how he approaches innovation. He shares a lot of stories and experience about teamwork, how to foster a culture where people can speak up. He gave an example about a female engineer in one of his building a large, I think building a submarine or maybe a ship for perhaps Titanic. And also he talks a little bit about how leaders should share their vision and motivate. And that really resonates to me as well, because, and throughout the whole theme of Team 23 is really about not being alone, succeeding alone, but how to collaborate and succeed together. All in all, it was just a great interview and sharing. It wasn't about an hour long, but it goes by really quickly. So I recommend you go check that out. Second is the art and science of teamwork, which, to be honest, is more of a new product roadmap and showcase, which I find fantastic. It's really good to see what's coming up and up and coming, what we can look forward to. Some of them we can sign up for early trial beta as well. For me, that session, there was 4 highlights, a bit more than 4, actually. Some of them are grouped together. The Confluence Whiteboard, Confluence Database, and Confluence Guest. So soon we'll be able to have an online whiteboard with Confluence. I believe that the Atlassian team have been using it for some time now internally. Obviously integrates very well with the Atlassian product suite. Database, again, something that looks quite similar to other products I've seen online, but it's good to have it all in one space. Seems very powerful and a better way to display data and manipulate, well, not so much manipulate data, but to share data on Confluence than a table. Basically, you can showcase a database table on Confluence with filters and to bring in different fields from the data source. Guests is basically allowing guest users to access certain space and pages, which I think would be very useful, especially for smaller companies who may not be able to and then the ones that need to collaborate, like us, right, consultant, we need to collaborate with our clients all the time, but sometimes we give them access to our own license. But in this way, with this new feature, hopefully we should be able to quickly share and collaborate with external users. Third one is Atlas and SmartLink. The two things, Atlas focus on giving teams and projects and program a homepage, a hero space, where everything gets connected and people can easily get on the same page. I think it would be great for large organization, large team, and as well as teams that need to onboard many people all the time. SmartLink is a new product. It sounds to me, I haven't seen a lot about it, but I do want to find out more. But it seems to me, continuing the theme from before about Open DevOps, for example, it's really about integrating with different apps with the Atlassian stack. Last but not least is the automation and Atlassian Intelligence, which they very, very wisely, I guess, abbreviated to AI. Automation has been there for a few years now, and apparently there are tens of billions of automation and saving many hours of work. So there are more and more coming out in different products across the product suite and platforms. So go check out at atlassian.com/automation. And Intelligent, they did a quick recap video. It was really cool. So they're basically looking at using AI and kind of ChatGPT technology to have a virtual teammate, is how Atlassian is coining it, where you can quickly ask questions about it and ask, for example, if I don't know what this acronym stands for, you can ask that assistant. You can also ask it to summarize or highlight the actions of meeting minutes. So again, I think it's right now in trial or kind of in that test beta phase. I believe it's atlassian.com/AI. So I'm eager to find out more myself. So those are the keynotes. Next, we have some insightful sharing that I find very useful learning experience for myself. They both from non-Atlassian folks. So something that we can hear from the end users, right? Lumen's Agile team, they share about their safe transformation and Agile adaptation journey. Some really good gems of insight there. For example, they gave their experience as well as a timeline, right? It took 3-4 years to get from starting to learn about Agile and building up Scrum teams all the way to where they are now looking at adapting to Jira Align next to align business outcomes. And we'll get to talk about it more a bit later. They scaled Agile mapping to Jira software, which I also have my own version, but I thought theirs is very useful. Perhaps I'll share mine next time in one of these events. Because, well, so a bit of background for those of us who've done some of or learn a bit about scaled Agile. So that's SAFe, and the SAFe 6 just came out, not just last couple of months. What SAFe or scaled Agile called SAFe Epic is quite different to how we have categorized it or traditionally used it in Jira software. So that's something that's worth looking out on. They also quite inspiringly use JSM for their Agile transformation. Using JSM to capture user feedback or the team's feedback. Using JSM to help answer questions, right? Because when organization adapt new way of working, there's obviously oftentimes a lot of new questions, and you won't be able to hire, or you probably don't want to hire too many consultants or Agile coaches, and you can't find them in the market anyways, to help, let's say, a large organization with more than 500 people, right? Then how many extra resources do you need? So using JSM for Agile transformation, I thought that was a very smart idea. And lastly, I ended up with sharing their recent adaptation to Jira Align, which is very much focused on sharing real-time data and consolidate data to help the whole business, really. I was going to say executive, but it's really a whole business to make this decision that drives business outcome. We'll get to that in a little bit more in a second. The next one is I believe a business system analyst from Google talking about the complexity in the organization and how to use Jira to tackle some of these challenges. It was also very interesting to see how giants like Google are facing similar challenges that many organizations in APAC also face. Things like strategic alignment, and then even how do you get to strategic alignment to execution, and how do you align and adapt it quickly with changes in the environment. The use of OKRs, right? Seeing that they're one of the key contributors on this topic, there was a very good example of their taxonomy rather on their OKR usage, as well as how their PMO and team and tasks are structured. So I thought that was another very good example that I can leverage in some of our internal, external adaptations. He also shared about how they're using and adopting Jira. There was some very interesting Q&A towards the end, and then they shared that they're actually using DC on deployed it on Google on Kubernetes, which in hindsight is quite obvious. One of the insights that they shared not last, but one of the things that really speak to me was the balance of using carrot and stick, right? Because as a consultant, as a transformation consultant, we talk a lot about change management, and we always talk about, you cannot force people to adapt your strategic objective or your OKRs, right? So yet we see that a lot here in Hong Kong or in Asia. So something to think about. So there are many, many more very interesting sessions, much to learn about, but about 4 were the highlights for me. So definitely highly recommend you to take some time and check out these 4, and the other ones on the Team '23 event page. All right. Next topic, I'm probably just going to run out of time, but I'm going to spend some quick time to talk about Atlassian Jira Align. It's a very powerful enterprise agile planning platform. It really enables teams to align the software development practice with the business goal, which is a big challenge we see in large organizations or even small organizations, to be frank. With Jira Align, the organization can create a single source of truth for the software development projects, allowing them to track progress, identify bottleneck, and make data-driven decisions. So how do I do that? Let me tell you a bit of a background story first, right? So nowadays, everyone's going agile, right? And we're going beyond just software development. We're talking about business outcome-driven, so business agility or enterprise agility. The larger the organization, the more difficult it is really to get alignment and getting everyone on the same page, aligned to the same goals, and using real-time data to drive decisions. Most of us here works in an environment where it's not that we don't want to collaborate, but it's just we can't underestimate or ignore the complexity of teamwork and remote work and hybrid work, right? So when I speak to the C-levels nowadays, questions like these always pop up, right? How do you adjust budgets on the fly, for example? What's the best way, Andrew, to identify and resolve bottlenecks? It's very difficult to make trade-off without knowing all the information. If I turn off this feature, if I shut that down, what would happen? How do we account for change of work in timesheet allocation or capacity? And how do we make sure that the staff are properly allocated to different initiatives that we want to prioritize? Other things like, dependency between teams, and how do we make sure everyone understand the dependency so there's no lag and delay? These are very fair and basic questions, and you would think it's quite easy to answer, but in reality, it's not. And that's where, Jira Align comes in. When looking for some of those answers for the question that we just talked about, or I just talked about, it's an important factor to help is really to have the knowledge flowing through the organization, right? So on the screen, you can see it goes from your working team working on your, let's say, Jira and Confluence. You've got program team that's looking at road mapping tools that's outside of the platform. There might be a lot of emails going around and then tracking time or timesheet somewhere else. And then there will be a lot of slides typically, right, in the EA office or in the design team or in the solutioning team, a lot of spreadsheets to the CFO office, a lot of other emails flying around. And then there will be more slides and custom reports, local documentation. And then there are consultants that come in and do transformation assessment. And the C-level, really, they get to see, spreadsheets or real-time dashboard nowadays. Often they get that, or more slides. That's a lot of work being done. A lot of data being entered into all these documents and different systems, but the knowledge does not necessarily flow. What if we can make all this work visible across the team and get insight into those dependency? That means that everyone can see all the interdependency and able to plan work effectively and drive value much faster. By that we mean if everyone is looking at the same goal and vision and understand where everyone and everything is, surely we can work quicker and better, right? And that's where Jira Align comes in fully integrated with Jira, obviously, and many other business tools. And by the way, doesn't this diagram reminds me of a hierarchy? Well, because it is basically. And then now, for those of us who have done safe scaled agile, here's how Jira Align supports what we call the second network of business model. We can think of Jira Align as a shared platform for achieving enterprise agility. Jira Align brings together all the relevant information across different stakeholders, your strategic portfolio manager, the product management side of things, scale development team across different locations, all into one single platform. So you can have a single unified source of truth. And for those who have learned about scaled agile, here's how Jira Align supports the second network business model. We can think of Jira Align as a shared platform for enterprise agility. Jira Align really brings together all the information for different stakeholders, your portfolio management side of things, the product management side of things, and then the development team side of things across different geolocation and different departments. The team level execution can still be done on Jira. It is done in Jira, but Jira Align has a bi-directional and near to real-time sync with Jira, and the team execution in Jira, the updates on tickets or tasks, the program level and the solution will get feed back up to Jira Align as well. It really ensures the team and the executive team have real-time analysis across access to all these information at different level of scale, and ultimately much better connection, right? Instead of just IT having Jira software being very agile, the other teams are on the same page as well, which allows them to tie strategy to execution really. I'm going to speed up a little bit just because I'm running a little bit of time. With Jira Align, the goal really is about connecting everything back to strategy, and we focus on enabling the teams to have this connected enterprise by linking people, work, and time, but ultimately to the outcomes, right? From the working team, the team that are doing up through to program, solution, portfolio, all the way to enterprise, so that when making budget decision, for example, or allocating resource, there is a big picture view that the organization can refer to, and making sure the entire organization is, well, on the same page and aligned. Last two slides I just want to go through, because organizations really need to collaborate seamlessly. Again, the theme from Team '23. Here's a diagram that really illustrates, the work that's being done by the delivery team need to feed up to the program, solution, the status, the result. Really need to flow from bi-directional, from two sides, right? The executive, where they set the strategy, they need to make sure it's communicated down to the software team. And that's, again, coming back to some of the OKR discussion from that Google talk, that intention on the strategy, right? So that it gives meaning to the working level as well. Why are they doing this, and what's the interdependency, and how would the outcome flow back up as well? Last but not least, I want to show you a few screen cap of some of the things, how does Jira Align really look like? It provides strategy room, it's got program board, and then there's got a very nice dependency management chart, value engineering. Look, there's a lot more things that we can talk about and showcase. I think the best way is, reach out and ask for a demo. We can come talk to you about the whole thing. Look, I think my time is up. But thank you so much for listening, and for the Atlassian team for inviting me. Lastly, if you're interested to talk more and understand how we approach things here in Innovation, feel free to reach out. And here's my email. Bye for now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew, for sharing about enterprise agility and how it can benefit us in so many ways. And again, if you are interested in Jira Align and everything about Agile at scale, please feel free to reach out to Andrew or your local partners so that they can help. Okay. So now let's wrap up for today. So Atlassian actually has grown from a software company with a market value of just more than $4 billion to a global software leader in a market value like more than 100 billion in just more than 5 years, I think. since its listing in December 2015. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for trusting Atlassian and be an advocate for Atlassian solutions in your organizations. We hope that our tools can bring you more inspirations and change the old ways of working and reshape the new management concept. So let's work together and let the software change the world. That's pretty much everything for today. So after this, you will have a survey for today's webinar. And if you have any questions, please fill up in the survey form, and we will reply to you to your registered email address. So this survey is very important to us, as your response will help us to make a better webinar in the future. So thank you very much to all our speakers and to those who participated in our sharing today, and also to our team at the back end. So hope we will get another great session for you in next month. Okay, see you on the next one. Thank you, everyone.